What's happening, everyone? Uh, welcome on this beautiful Thursday evening. Welcome to Perspective. And as always, I'll give a little bit of an introduction on who we are and what we're about. If you're wondering what Perspective is about, it is found right there in the name Perspective. This is a safe place, a safe tree, if you will, a place where we can come and share and discuss different topics, circumstances in a judge-free zone. I'll matter of fact, I'll correct that. You may be judged, but you can't be crucified. We all get judged at some point, but to that point, this is a place where we have different opinions, different views, different lived experiences, and we can discuss them openly and honestly. And we'll come to find that many times you may be on the opposite side of someone's opinion, perspective, or lived experience. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're right and you're wrong, or you're right and they're wrong. It simply shows that there are some differences and that you may be different. And when we can discuss those differences openly, we'll find that we have more in common than not, and we're really trying to achieve the same things, and that'll bring us closer together as individuals, which will bring us closer together as a community, and ultimately bring us closer together as a world. And that's what we aim to do here on Perspective. I'll introduce myself, and let me go ahead and address the elephant, the rhinoceros, the big giraffe, and everything that's in the room. We do not see my illustrious co-host on the screen. I was out last week, and she is out this week doing something very important, obviously, in all ways, because she is a shaker and a mover. So I call her Doc, aka Latoya, the therapist, is going to be missing this. I should have waited to the end, and y'all just wait for her to pop in, because y'all might not even want to stay with me on that, because my co-host goes so hard. But she is not here, so just always sending her power, prosperity, and protection in whatever she's doing. So with that being said, you'll have me, but we do have a special guest that I'll be introducing. But I'm going to introduce myself. I am Eric Butler, aka the Intellect, aka Cullinan 8, because I'm the biggest diamond ever found on land, aka the Atlantic, because I'm cold, deep, and choppy, and it ain't nothing nobody can do about it. I have a career in talent acquisition. I've been in that for about 2 decades, a little bit over 20 years now, and that has led me into the opportunity to kind of spur off into career coaching, which has a little bit of a counseling flavor to it as far as careers are concerned, mentorship with the Turner 12 mentoring program. And then also I sit on the advisory board of the Empower series, which is a financial literacy nonprofit. So that has me in the community a little bit. And I've been able to, help guide and advise people in different ways, maybe not directly or maybe indirectly, just with my involvement with these organizations. And that has also exposed me and led me to this seat right here with you tonight on this wonderful podcast called Perspective. With that being said, we'll kind of get into the show. We have a special guest, so I think the topics we'll discuss may vary a little bit, but I promise you it'll be a good time. I find this individual very sharp, very intelligent. They're much bigger than I even think they believe, which is also an asset to them, because they definitely carry a humble spirit about the things that they've accomplished and done over time. So we'll be discussing that. As you can see, they have a name, but they go by Miss. I call them Miss Blitz. I'm just going to give it that love. And as you saw on the program before we came on, I'll let them explain who they are, explain their business, and then we'll get into the general topics and the Q&A. Right now, everybody put your hands together. We're going to be bringing to the stage Alexis Butler, aka Miss Blitz.
Hello,
Hello,
everyone.
hello, hello. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm a
All
little
right, all
nervous.
right. So, a little bit of a intro. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be nervous, but you shouldn't. You look great. You are great, and you just get better all the time. Um, with that being said, what we're going
Appreciate
to do
that.
is just kind of have a little discussion. Uh, Say that again.
I said I appreciate that. Thank you.
Outstanding. Outstanding. She takes compliments very difficulty. She has a difficulty taking compliments. But we're going to talk about, if you can see her background, it's pretty
Oh,
interesting. And as you can
yes.
see her title, she is the CEO of Blitz Lashed Out. So I'm going to just take a couple of seconds. I'm going to be quiet, kind of let you introduce yourself. In the vein of being the CEO of Blitz Lashed Out, and then we'll get more into the conversation.
Okay, thank you. So of course my name is Alexis Butler and Blitz Lashed Out is a lash industry. I'm sorry, a lash company. Um and I specialize in lash extensions. So just a further description of it is basically individuals on each individual natural lash. So it's very tedious craft. And I've been in business for about 2.5 years now. I started in 2021, but um, I don't claim that beginning of the year. By 2022, that's when things started to pop off for me. That's when the name Blitz Lashed Out actually came into play. So at first it was Miss Blitz Lashes, but I
Mhm.
ended up changing it. So here we are now.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that introduction and giving us a little bit of history on the formation and culmination of Blitz Lashed Out. So, Blitz Lashed Out has been in existence for 2.5 years. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, we're
And
in 2025, but we're coming up
and
on
um, and what and
three
what got you
years now.
started? What got you started? Okay. And viewers, just forgive us. There may be a little bit of a delay, and I'll try to manage that and space out the question and then give the guest, give Alexis an opportunity to respond. So, so when did you get started? When did you get started, or what got you started into the lash industry?
Okay, I started well, it's really a short story. It's not a long story. I've always
Okay.
had an entrepreneur mindset. I've always wanted to work for myself. The first, well, it was a side hustle, not technically a business, but the first side hustle I had was makeup. So I was in college doing faces. That was how I was at making money, just to, make sure I had food in my cabinets and things like that. And then I actually moved on to hair, braids, wigs, sew-ins, things of that nature. And then after I left college, I moved to Houston and I kind of got into doing it's called resin trays. So basically I was like creating these decorative trays where you could use it for anything, decor or recreational purposes, and things like that. And then I was kind of in between doing hair and doing those trays. And I was just scrolling on Instagram and I just kept seeing lash extension videos. And the more I watched these videos, the more in depth that the videos became. So at first you would just see a picture of a set and then I started to see details of it. And then one day I saw one video, I was like, I could do this. I could do this. Especially knowing, um the pricing and how much you can make. So at first, yeah, it was about the money because it was about to be a side hustle for me. Something I can do to gain income. And then when I
Hmm.
actually started to learn and I knew it wasn't easy at all, I'm I'm a competitive person and I can't give up easily. So if I start to really put in some time and effort, also money, it's like okay, I'm not getting it right off rip, but I can't give up now either, you know? So eventually, going through that journey of learning and going through the hardships and getting so frustrated because you can't get it, in my heart, I was like, I'm not going to give up. And eventually, I just fell in love with it. Once I actually started to see the improvement in my work, I was like, I could really go far, especially because I'm a creative person, and I it's really an art. You can do whatever you want to do. It's so versatile.
Oh, outstanding. So what? So I mean, what is it sounds like you said once you got started, it really was about the money, but then it started to evolve into a passion and a love. What was the specific thing that made that transition, being from just the monetary gain and the benefits of that to where it turned into a passion and something that you love?
Well, I think first, that it's this feeling that you get when you finally get something right, or it's something that you've been working hard at and it finally works out, like, oh my gosh, finally I did it. That sense, that I would say sense of, like, not relief, but like finally, I think that's where it kind of was like it was worth it. And then also, like, the looks on, like, clients' faces, even when I really didn't think I was that good, or I wasn't proud of the set or the work that I did, the look on clients' faces, like when they were excited about getting their lashes done and then actually seeing the final product and how happy they were. I just also fell in love with clients having that feeling as well. So it was a sense of like,
Mhm.
okay, I found something that's for me, where I get something else out of just what my motivation isn't money anymore. It's it's the satisfaction of a client, and then also the joys and the journey of, like, going through, not even just going through all these different clients, but an actual set, actually seeing the details of the set and everything that it includes, like, just from start to finish, greeting the client, of course, customer service, and getting to know a client. Then they get so comfortable with you, they start telling you things you wouldn't you wouldn't tell somebody you just met 15 minutes ago. And just the bonds that I've created with strangers, and how much support I get from complete strangers. Like, I get support from people I've
Right.
never met, than people that I've known forever. So I think that's where I really kind of was like, yeah, I love this. I actually love doing this.
Outstanding. It sounds like the way what I just heard is that as you performed, and, of course the money is always, let's no kid out here, let's don't kid ourselves here now, because money is not the most important thing,
Right.
but it is up there with breathing.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So we got to
Yes.
have that happening. However, it sounds like people talk about finding their purpose, and most times, even when you're not looking for it, I think that's when it rears its head, or it makes itself
Hmm. Yeah.
present to you. Sounds like you've kind of tapped into that, and it's really the intrinsic value. You get it so naturally inside, taking care of a client, giving them really excellent service, and then their appreciation for your detail, for your quality, and for the work you put in, it pays you intrinsically, so you feel good about helping other people. Sounds like that's something that you kind of fell into, and I would say that's a very key element on why businesses can be successful. When I think it's only about the money is when corners get cut. People don't really put their heart to it, and you'll kind of see that come out in the service and the work when you really get intrinsic joy. You have satisfaction by giving great satisfaction to your customers with what they're asking for. Definitely that'll be kudos to Blitz Lashed Out. But most importantly, you know who the business, I think the biggest benefactors of that will be the clients and the customers that you have right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You took every word out my mouth.
All right, all right, all right. Kind of felt that one. I think there individuals, and let me take a pause into BS3 Network, which is the platform, it's the foundation, it is the back night sky that the planet perspective sits upon. Said good evening, and so good evening to you too. All right. So as we go forward, so what has been, so I know anything that's worth having gonna take is, you know, you're gonna have some bumps and some bruises, and I know it ain't all smiles being an entrepreneur, because well, entrepreneur, you work all the time. So what would you say, if you were telling, what is something that you've learned or that you didn't anticipate? I know there may be, you know, multiple things, but the most poignant thing that comes to mind that you did not anticipate or expect becoming an entrepreneur.
Um, that's I think I'm trying to see something I did not expect. You know, I think it's because I always expect people to act like how I am or have, you know, a heart or a sense of decorum. And, you know, I guess I did expect clients to act a certain way, but I thought maybe if I, you know, what you give is what you give out. And a lot of people don't go by that. So, I really didn't expect people to be so. The only word I can come up with
Say the
is
thing.
grimy. That's the only word I can come up with. Yeah. I just don't,
Mhm.
especially like
Okay.
paying clients. Like I just didn't
And that's
I
okay.
just
No, this is perspective. There are different perspectives, and we
yeah, so I just didn't expect people to
no,
move
go
a
ahead.
certain way when it came to and I think in particular, small businesses. So you're going to a business that you know is ran only by one person, and it's in a service industry. So they're providing a service, especially something that's, intimate like your eyes. I would think you would handle them in a certain type of way because they're handling something so so precious. I would think I would never be mean to that person or try to do them any type of way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
So
mean,
yeah.
I don't understand how people don't realize when you're in the service industry, people that's handling your food, people that
Right.
that are handling your medication, people that are handling things that you may ingest or put on your body, in your body, around your body, people that handle your money, anybody that's in a service position. I'm just saying, I think it would just take a just basic wisdom to understand that you probably, it would be in your best interest to handle them with a bit of just basic decorum, to use your word, and respect. Like, yeah, you can, I'm not talking bad to waitresses, I'm not talking bad
Exactly.
to the chef, I'm not talking bad to the bartender. Definitely, if he is the what do they call him, the parking attendant, I'm going to be very, very respectful of all of those people. Anyone that's in the service industry to any
Mhm.
level, I think it would just be wise to, because I mean they're handling things. Somebody that's doing a job for you, whether it be, you know, construction or something like that. They may cut corners. They may buy the better material, or they may buy lesser material. Mechanics, like, yeah, you got to get one of them on your team that's going to tell you the truth, so you don't end up paying $5,000 for something that it took 500. Like that is that's true facts. So I think that's a big lesson. So if there's anybody who uses services, which is everybody, you heard it here from Miss Blitz. She's telling you, hey, you would think you want to handle yourself with a certain level of decorum. I'm gonna use that word a little bit throughout the throughout the show. Um, so as you've grown in your business, and anyone who is wondering, my name is Eric Butler. This is Alexis Butler. But right now, I do have um, I do have some insight on the business. But I will take this moment to just say that the things that she'll share, like her experience, her growth in her business, has definitely been done by her hand, by her imagination, her creativity. Really, she has put the sweat equity in building the company, and it's probably been one of the most impressive things to be able to be on the sidelines and watch evolve. So, as I ask her these questions and she answers these questions, I'm like in the moment, like getting this feedback. I don't think we've had as a formal or a detailed conversation about some of these things. So this is not some, okay, we scripted and I'm going to say this and then you say this. This is not, y'all getting it off the cuff. Y'all getting it off the cuff right now. So as Blitz lashed out, as grows, what has been, I guess, what has been the most, you've talked about what's been the most gratifying. You kind of talked about some of the things you wish would change. What is the ultimate goal of where you want to take Blitz lashed out?
My ultimate goal actually, um, at first I didn't want to, but I do want to have an academy or school.
Mm,
I'm gonna go ahead and add an S, so that means
okay.
plural.
Okay. Absolutely. More than one for those who,
Because
yeah.
um, learning in the industry was, in my eyes, I feel like for lashes specifically, is the most difficult. For some reason, this industry is filled with young women that do not want to share.
Hmm.
For it's And I think because, and I get it, because the craft itself is so tedious, and it's so much to it. It's really down to a science. It's like a science to it, honestly.
Really?
And
Okay.
I just want to be able to share that in a way where it could be understood, because it's a lot of people out here kind of just half doing it. And me knowing, or putting in the work and knowing that people can kind of get up somewhere by just playing, it's almost like, hold on, wait a minute. So I just want to kind of just
Right.
give people a fair chance where it could actually be some quality workers in the industry, because even though it's some clients and customers out there that are grimy, unfortunately we have some service providers that are grimy too. But
Mm. So no, say more about that. When you say some service providers, you say the customers, but the some, I guess, lash people who are applying
artists, yeah,
the
artists,
artist,
takes.
the text, they can be grimy too.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So how would you? So let's say it's someone that's looking to get the service. They're looking for a lash tech. What would you say are some of the things they need to look for to kind of decipher between maybe someone who is not as professional, not as astute as maybe you are as a lash artist? What are some of the things that they should look for that'll be a sign that, yeah, they probably shouldn't go with that tech? And then some tips you that you think would be good signs to say, yes, that's probably a quality tech to go to.
Okay. First, y'all see that right there? Lysol. Sanitation is key. Sanitation, if you don't see Lysol, Barbicide, um, if you can already see there's no organization in their area, I, I've done it. I've literally walked out of of a of someone's home, their suite, just walk out. Um, but if you're searching on the internet, of course, the first thing you're going to do is look at the social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram or even Facebook. Um, you can tell by looking at the comments. See, I look for like reviews or to see who has came to you and who has something good to say, or if they have anything to say at all.
Mm.
So when researching, you just kind of want to go more in depth. Of course, when we go to Amazon and we're purchasing the product, the first thing we do is we go to the reviews because we need to make sure this is a good product. So it's really the same concept.
Same. Okay.
So that's one thing. Of course, if sometimes that could be a facade, and if you actually go to the place, and also I know some people, they need communication, direct communication with the artist. Now a lot of artists are like me. It's overwhelming to talk to people, so everything is, if it's detailed, if their thing is detailed down to the T in a professional manner, because you do have a lot of artists that will put big bold letters, do not come, don't do this. It's just a whole bunch of don'ts. Red flag.
Mm.
Um but if there's somebody that does communicate, because it's not, you have a question, pay attention, like don't be naive, pay attention to how they talk to you
Mm.
in text message. So if you kind of like, she talks to me a little crazy, even though it's over text, and I know we can overlook things, but I feel like when it comes down to business, and you're talking to someone that's providing a service, it's a way to communicate, especially if you're a potential client. Excuse me.
Mm.
So those are a couple of things that you can definitely look out for.
Okay, that's good stuff. No, that's good stuff. And I always thought, word of mouth is, the greatest. It is the number one form of advertisement,
Hmm.
because you're getting someone who actually received the service, and they like, no, the service has been good, and especially if someone has repeat customers or individuals that have at least made statements saying, that's my person, that's who I would go to. On the other side of the fence, I would say there are, individuals are like that with hairdressers. Your hairdresser knows you. For men, barbers, they'll know like that. He know where the swirl is, or he know that my hair grow a certain way and knows how to
Hmm.
do it. Would you say that would be the equivalent to a good lash tech?
Yes. So word of mouth definitely helped me, especially when I first started. So that's another thing. But everybody doesn't know someone that get this particular service. So if you're somebody that don't have any references, then you will look at those key things. But yeah, word of mouth is, and that's and you know what people say, like if you get a bad service, they're gonna tell 25 people.
Yes.
But if you get a good service, you're gonna get a good three references right there. You're gonna get good three people that may come.
Got you. So what has been as mm, you know as it's grown, what like what are some of the things that people just don't realize about lashing? Because I mean, now I'm just let me just go ahead and quit trying to be all nice. I mean, because I'm out in the world and I see some individuals, and I'm just like, what's going on there? Who did that? What happened? And so, what is something that people really just don't understand or know about it, that you think, hey man, if I could, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner in this particular industry, what is something, if you could just say, man, I wish I could tell everybody this, it would make things easier, they would understand better, what would be that thing?
Okay. So I'm a small business, of course, but I'm a
Okay.
one man, one sound, one band. I wear every hat, every single last one. And at
Okay.
times it can be very overwhelming, and think that people forget that I'm human and I have a life too,
Mm.
and I'm not a robot.
Mm.
So a lot of people, and I guess it is my fault because I spoiled my clients, because it was at one point where I was just like, I was hungry. I was like, I'm not where I want to be, and I need to get there. And I was putting my clients before myself. And then
Mm.
eventually that you have to take care of yourself in order to take care of somebody else. So when I was kind of like really just kind of down bad, like my body was showing signs like, yeah, you're not, hey, this is not working. You need to find a different system. let's
That's
let's
your
try something else because this is not
that's your
working.
body's voice. That's your body's
Yeah,
voice right
yeah.
there.
That's what she sounds like.
Okay. Okay.
She's a Karen,
No.
actually. She's a Karen. So if
Ah,
something
that's
ain't right,
funny.
she gonna let me know right then and there. Ain't no leading up to it. So,
Ah, that's hilarious.
so but yeah, but I majority of my clientele is women. And you know how we get,
Yeah.
especially black women.
Okay.
So I
Tell
did
the
spoil
truth.
my clients, and now they think they could just do whatever they want to do. And I'm just like, so I was. Let me just be more clear. I'm gonna just have to put myself out there. I didn't set boundaries, and then also
Mm.
I was going against my own policies. And
Mm.
with clients that I know, they came and support my business. They told people, so I felt like I was giving them a little bit of leeway because I understand life happens. But then some people, of course, they're gonna just take that and run with it until you put your foot down. So,
Mm.
um, for me, it took me way longer than anybody else to realize that I was suffering. Um, but I would say like my second year, like close in the middle, on my second year, I was like, yeah, this is not gonna work. And at this point, I just had to really put my trust in God at that point, because I was just so scared to lose clients because I got all this stuff running and it costs money, and I'm like, in order to keep it going, if I lose these my regulars, what's going to happen. But no, that's and don't get me wrong, I had clients that left, but they was like, you know what, I'm gonna just have to deal with it because I can't find, not to toot my own horn, but I can't find no one like you. So I had to realize the value that I give, and just how valuable my business is, and how valuable I am, because it's not just because I make beautiful sets, because I can make pretty sets but be a hole, but I show people respect. My customer service. I mean, I've always worked customer service, so it's kind of second nature. And also, I just treat people how I want to be treated. So if I go get a service, this is how I want somebody to treat me. So it's easy to do it, unless you, well, I actually got better, you guys. So if people try to get, passive aggressive, I just put my Karen voice on and just continue to be, just don't let it phase me. I had to, and that's another thing I had to learn, was to not take everything so personal, because whatever they're going through probably don't have nothing to do with me. And once they get these lashes done, because I'm going to eat, they're gonna be like, oh, okay. Oh, okay, you cool or whatever. And then they're gonna come back.
Mm. Mm.
And then
Yeah,
they're gonna come back.
I like it. I like it. I can't help but be proud. I'm just smiling. I'm just like, yeah. I tell folks, I be like, yeah, I made that. I made that. Can't tell me nothing. Got me walking around looking like acting like Kanye. But no, that is no, that's outstanding. So to make sure that statement is like, whenever, when you're dealing with entrepreneurs, and it's a small business, or it's a sole proprietorship, that to keep in mind that this is a human being.
Yeah.
They may have gifts and talents, and yes, you are paying for a service, but that person has to take care of themselves so they can take care of you. So just keep that level of compassion and that level of reality in mind whenever you're working with sole proprietors, small businesses, and at least give just the basic respect of humanity and compassion and respect, I would say. Would that be a good way to say? If you could
Mm-hmm.
just tell everybody that, they can have an
Yeah.
understanding. And
Yeah.
I think tangibly, now correct me if I'm wrong, that's if, you know, if your lash tech has to take a break, or they take a vacation, or they take time for themselves, or if they ask for, you know, certain things to be done prior to appointment, or after an appointment, or during the appointment, like at least prepare yourself, be, you know, be adult enough and mature enough to understand and adhere to those things, to not make it so arduous. um because you got to, you know, be considerate that if they're running a business, they need to be lean in that. And it's just popped into mind. I can imagine, like, this, I'll pose it as a question, and this will answer that. As far as timing is concerned, like, what is the cadence on that? Like, how long does it take to do a set?
So my average time is 2 hours and 30 minutes. But depending on what the client wants, because some clients are extra, so any add-ons that they get, it could be up to 4 hours.
So let me clarify. So the average time is, you're gonna be dealing on
To sitting in this position for 2 hours and 30 minutes.
and you've done it as long as been in doing that for 4 hours. Is this like breaks in between, like 30-minute breaks?
No, so straight through.
Um,
No
um,
stops. Uh,
Salutes to you. I'm just like, wow, wow.
I
So,
mean, imagine what I'm doing. So you see
and it's
your
much
natural
so
lashes. I am
it's
putting one piece of hair on
yeah.
one piece of natural lash and waiting till it dry, and then grabbing another piece of synthetic hair and placing on one single natural lash. You have hundreds of natural lashes. Yeah.
Okay, I really hadn't put this into perspective, but I thought about it. I hadn't thought about it. Like,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Now that even right now kind of relaxes me on my. I'll be honest, everyone. You know, I'm fond of a lash tech, but I was like, what they doing? How much? What? I see now. I see.
Yeah.
And
And
no, and
that's
I'll be.
another thing when people complain about the price, and I'm like, you clearly don't know what you're paying for.
Well, I think we
Clearly.
all will. Yeah, whatever the number is, we're gonna be like, because I'm guilty. It could be way under what I thought. I'll be like, how much? Yeah, it'd be fine. Okay, I'm joking. I'm not really like that because I already know. I already know I'm gonna get it back. I'm gonna get it back tenfold. That's just how I operate. But I got to be mindful of that. But no, that's very, very interesting. That's very interesting. And so when you keep talking about each individual lash, so you're sitting there parting the lash, taking the lash they want, putting it on the individual lash. But as you're doing it, you have to put you're manipulating each lash and putting it in a certain style to generate an overall style that the client and the customer has requested. So
Correct.
now
That
don't
is
has yeah,
that
that's
was
good.
Chef Kiss. You explained that. Wow, I'm shocked and proud.
Oh,
Wow.
oh well, I
Yeah.
try
Exactly.
to straighten that up. I try to do a little something, something, every now and again. No, but let me stop. But so now it's kind of is making me think a little bit. So with that being said, because I've seen sets where, they're shorter in the, towards the front corner, and then they fan out. And then I've seen them where people look like they got butterfly wings on theirs. Like, so
Unfortunately.
someone has had to sit and then you have to map that out. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't peek that. I didn't seen the videos on Instagram,
I
and
see.
we're
I'm
gonna
like, you using terminology and everything. Like,
well,
wow.
well, I mean, well, there is. I've seen the videos, and there's a lot of explanation. I've seen when you mentioned, I was like, oh, okay, because I didn't see whole post that was just on do this, do this. This is what you need to do. This is how you need to go, and with instructions. And and this is not a dry brag, but this is just the facts. I've seen you try to educate individuals on like the care of their lashes afterwards. You know, if they don't care for them, they come out quicker, they don't last as long, and then they really got to come back to you. So I always, I kind of, I was like, well, I was just like, okay, that's really good service. So, because you're really teaching them, hey, how to hold on to them longer, so they don't need to come back to you as often, which is, you know, I think honorable is the word that comes to mind. And you know, admittedly, I've heard you have conversations in passing, or make adjustments with individuals. And I've always thought, I'm just extremely, impressed and proud of your level of quality, especially the way that you take care of your space. It's many times like, damn, we doing it again. Like, I mean, pulling everything out, sanitizing everything. And I was like, well, yeah, you just did that. And I mean, I think that bleach will last for a while. Bleach is pretty powerful, but I think I'm really I've really been impressed with that. I was like, man, anybody goes there, they really have it better than they think in many instances. You do go above and beyond. I'm talking about, anything other than getting your feet rubbed while it's getting done, or somebody, fanning you. It's that kind of, I was like, man, she messed around, put cucumbers, here, let me get the cucumber rub, and then we'll do that. I mean, but snacks and I've seen you do it in such a major way. Um, Being a small operation, you really do function in big picture and big vision in high class um a manner. And man, I'm proud of you on that. Um and with without hesitation, like I be out in the streets handing out cards because I just see somebody look like, I'm like, who put them swinging gates on your, that is not working, man. It's not working. And I'm not afraid to shame myself. People be looking at me like, what is this middle-aged black man referencing my lashes for? What is going on? It has gotten to a few strange
Oh my gosh.
replies, but I have confidence in doing it just from those things that I've seen. And
Ah,
of course,
thank
I've
you.
heard, and I do watch. We follow each other on Instagram, so you come up in the algorithm. That's just what it is, and so I
I
be
hope
comparing
so.
it.
I feel
No,
like
I
they
do. Yeah,
IG
yeah,
playing
of
with me a
course.
little bit.
Maybe what they no talk about it.
I
What you
feel
saying?
like it. I was saying I hope so. You said that I pop up on your algorithm, and I was saying I hope so because I feel like Instagram be playing,
Hmm.
but that's
Hmm.
that's different. That a whole nother discussion.
That is a whole nother discussion. So, with that being said, of course, I know you got preparation you have to do, and so I'm not going to keep you too much longer. Just so overall, like if you were to give a reference or advice to someone, I guess, who wants to be a small business owner, no matter what space it is, what advice would you give? And then you can tailor it to someone who is wanting to get into your industry. What advice would you give them?
Um, at first I do want to say I will tell them that it's not going to be easy. If you are motivated by money, you're going to be very disappointed because the money will not come. You will put more money into learning and on supplies before you make any profit. Um
Mm,
and then I would say if this is something that you truly want to do, like you can see your future doing it as a career, then I would say take in some type of business class or like just start fresh. I think with me being so far in the game, um, I think that's kind of where I messed up because I have so much. I would say I missed out on a lot because I know when having an
Okay.
LLC, just business wise, like I kind of lost out because I have time with my business, but didn't have an LLC the entire time. So that I kind of messed up with credit cards and getting business lines and things like that. So I would say take a business class, start fresh off rip. If you have a 9 to 5, literally let that be, I guess that's the gateway, but just business wise, just take a business class. Just take a business class, start fresh from that. Like step one, step two, literally. It will just save you a headache in the future. And also, um, just know that it's not gonna be easy.
Hmm. Anything worth having. Ain't no easy way to do a hard thing.
Yeah.
So how we gotta do it.
Wise one, a wise man once said that. Yeah.
Okay. Got to do it
Yeah.
hard.
I learned that.
So yeah. So and I'll use this opportunity to kind of give a plug. Uh, and many, she said take a business class. I'm gonna tell you, there are organizations out there that are completely designed, designated to help you build businesses. I will give a shout out to Comerica Bank. It's called the Comerica Bank HQ. It is designed for small businesses. They have the space, they have the resources that will help you grow your business. They have advisors that will be made available for you to kind of give you direction and help you map it out. If that's not the direction you want to go, and that would be for companies that they're considered small, but let's say you're already rolling, you have some good things going. For those who are like, I'm trying to figure out and find my lane, there are other organizations that would help you. This is a space and a place where the Empower series would be invaluable to you, because it will give you the education, it will give you the resources, the information, also guide you to the resources and the mindset to thrive in what it is you want to do. Not so if business is your area and your space, that is a great place to go. You can go onto YouTube and just go check out some of the podcasts. Go back and look at some of the other workshops that they have. They have a workshop every third Saturday of the month that's dedicated to some area of financial advancement. Like home buying, starting a business, taxes, all of the things that will be connected. You really won't. You'll find it invaluable. You're getting information, you're getting access to resources, organizations that people will really pay money to get. So to Alexa's point, she had the fortitude to kind of build it backwards a little bit, which is impressive in itself. But she just gave you a great nugget by telling you, hey, start with, get the foundation in place financially and business wise, you'll be able to build faster and stronger,
Yes.
and especially if you have high quality, great customer service, and you have something that people really appreciate and desire, then you'll move even faster. So great advice there, Alexis. So before we wrap up, I want to give you an opportunity to tell everyone where they can find you if they want to book with you. Where can they book with you if they just want to communicate with you, network with you? Where can they find Alexis Miss Blitz Butler?
You can definitely find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Blitz slashed out. Blitz slashed out. Um, you will find my links. Right now, I am not taking new clients, but that's not forever. That is temporary, but you can still connect with me, follow me, get updates and all those type of things. Um, YouTube, I made a page so you could same thing, Blitz slashed out. No posts yet, but definitely follow me, subscribe, and yeah, I think that's it.
Man, awesome. So that was a stunt, y'all. If y'all didn't hear this, I'm not taking new clients right now. Who? Wait, hold up. Like, yeah. we selective around here. Um, I choose you, and you. Y'all, I'm like, okay,
It's
you
not.
like we got it
It's
like
not
that.
like
I
that.
mean, if we got it like that, we
I
got it
mean,
like
it's
that.
not like that, but it's not like
So
that.
so
But
basically
it's
you
like
was
that.
telling them they can get on the waiting list, talking about if somebody move or somebody, relocate, then maybe
Yeah,
no,
basically,
we ain't
somebody might get kicked
we
out, and then
doing
I
business.
might
Hey,
have a
that's
slot
doing
available.
hey, we doing
So make sure you
business.
follow me so you can get the details.
There you go,
If
hundred
you're trying to
percent.
lock in.
I know. Now we laughing a little bit, but I will tell you I will tell you I've seen some videos where these are individuals who really I don't get lashes. It's not particularly my world. I'm learning a lot because one of my favorite people on the planet. It is their business, is what they do. But just in part and in pieces of hearing um, the impact that her work, her quality, her attention to detail, and I would say her gift has had on individuals, not just to make them look pretty, but impacts how they feel, how they carry themselves. Because when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you do good. And when you do good, you get good. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so um, I really commend you on that. It's something that intrinsically comes out of you. I think it's not just the artistry and the gift that you were given to do that, because you're so creative. If any, I don't think they can find it. I wish they could see some of the makeup artistry that you did. Like I was just I was like, what? When she learned to do that? When did this happen? And then the thing of being self-taught, having the umption to step out on faith, to really do the work, to put in the sweat equity, to create something that is viable, very viable, financially and in other ways too. I'm not going to put all your business out there, you know what I'm saying? But in our community, we say doing big things, you know what I mean? But has aspirations to do things even bigger. So you just gave some really good advice, and it just hit in my mind. I'm like, so if you are burgeoning business entrepreneur, you have a business, and it may not even have to be within the lashing space, but some of the cousin or sister businesses, sounds like you would be a great person to either talk to about, hey, where to start, what to do, what may set the right foundation or guide them in the right direction there. I'm going to say it because she would not. I'm just saying, don't be coming empty handed. You want mentorship, you want guidance. um, Information and data is the new currency of the day. That's we know now. Seriously, if you understand and use AI, all the information you get out of there is a culmination of data and information. I work for a company that is a multi-million billion-dollar company because they
Hmm.
house, manipulate, manage, and help people monetize their data. So what I'm saying is, if you come in and getting this information, which is i.e. data, you should come prepared to, like, hey, what can we set up? What can I do to get the information from you? She won't say it, but I will. Don't be doing that. Let's don't do that. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Got to do something if you want to build a business. Yeah, I sung. So and that goes for everybody in every walk of life. But with that being said, um you can reach Alexis, Miss Blitz, on Blitz Lashed Out, and Blitz is spelled with a Z, as you see. Now, does that all together or is that spaced out?
All
uh
together, yes.
all
Hmm.
together. So it'll be all together. If you have questions, you want to reach out to Alexis, directly, make sure you do so. So with that being said, once again, I want to give shouts out to my co-host, who wasn't with us today, Latoya, the therapist, aka them kids' mama, aka Chef Jeff's wife, aka
Hmm.
my co-hostess with the mostest. She is super califragilistic, espialidocious, Can't nobody beat her. Can't nobody match her. They copy. They try to be. They imitate her, but they can never be like her. And that's just what it is. As you know, I just showed it. I'm fond of my co-host, and hey, she couldn't be here, but it's all to the good. I got you. I got you. And so, with that being said, I want to thank everyone, the viewers, the commenters, everyone for being here with us this evening. Alexis, thank you for taking the time, sharing your wisdom, sharing your time with us. Definitely sharing your essence, man. You always fun. Me and you, we laugh a lot. You're one of my favorite people. I will say it and shout it from the highest mountain. I am favored by the children that the Most High has given me. My daughter is one half of two, and she is a bright star, a bright star. But separate from that, she is definitely her own entity and a wonderful business person. But most importantly, just a wonderful, wonderful human being. I'm extremely proud to be your father. And I'm honored. I'm honored that we share the name and that you're mine. That you're mine. All
Thank
right.
you for having me. This was fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I will give you the last word. Is there anything that you would like to say before we head out?
Nothing. Honestly, I feel like the coolest person in the world because my dad has a podcast and I was on it. So
That's
yeah, I
outstanding.
could put
That's
that on my
outstanding.
resume now.
Now there you go. There you go. There you go. All right. All right. All right. So those Perspective Pod is about to wrap. We thank you for your viewers. We thank you for your comments. Please like, share, comment, show us some love. As Alexis mentioned earlier, that algorithm will trip on you. So the more interacting that you do with us, the better it is. We also love to hear from you if there's any comments, any recommendations, suggestions, topics you would love discussed. Please let us know. Even if you're upset about what we did, like Eric, you moved too much. Eric, you overspoke. You did anything like that. I appreciate that critical feedback because what I want to do is be of service and give quality to you all as well. So please do that. This is Perspective, and I want to hear all the different ones that are out there because I count it all as joy. All right. So with that being said, we're signing off. Y'all have a wonderful evening, a great rest of the week, and an outstanding weekend. I claim power, prosperity, and protection over all of you. So ultimately you can have peace and you can step into your purpose. And with that being said, we'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.